Yes, people. I am your host, the most, the Bridge 258, here today, as usual, to give you um a special live stream. I used to do these ones a lot more regularly um in my past, in my previous era, shall we say. But listen, man, gonna wait for some of you guys to come in, of course, and to have your says, have your school of thoughts, have your thoughts and opinions, as always. But yeah, man. Obviously, you can read the title, you can see the title, you can see what this is going to be about. At the end of the day, some of the discussions that I am hoping, at the very least, that we are going to be able to have. And yeah, man. At the end of the day, listen, it's going to be a very thoughtful conversation. At the end of the day, we're going to be looking at some of the issues related to the club. I think from a three level structure, this is something that I've spoken about previously, which is the board, the board itself, which is the ownership group, and everything like that, which is Todd Bowley, Bedard Bali. You then got to look at obviously the directors, their part that they of course play in the scenarios, and where they themselves are also incorrect and going wrong at as well. And then the final one obviously is going to be in regards to the kids, or should I say the manager and the player. That's who I'm going to be, of course, going next in regards to my school of thoughts and my analysis on the topic as well. But hey ho, guys, man. Obviously, I'm waiting for you guys to come in. Um, Seems there's not that many of you here as of right now. But hey, of course, we move on that one still. But yeah, man. Honestly, for me personally, it's been a tough week for sure. Tough week for sure, to say the very least. Would definitely not be a joke at all. Been a bit crazy week. In regards to the club, some of the stuff that's happened, some of the stuff that's definitely taking place at the end of the day. So, listen, man, here we are today to discuss that. Try to at least get some school of thoughts into it. I want to hear your thoughts and opinions, of course, as always, in regards to it as well. So, listen, man, let me know, man. Let me know for sure. So, hmm, I'm gonna, the first place I'm gonna start with, for me personally, in regards to this, and I always say this is, I've literally, typed my notes, as you can see, so written my notes, I should say, in regards to this topic. And the first thing is Pochettino, tactics or lack thereof. I think the first thing we need to look at, obviously, is the manager of the players, and I'll start with, obviously, the manager, because he's a bit more, for me, the easier one to analyze compared to others. When we brought in Pochettino into this football club, one of the reasons as to why we brought in Pochettino into this football club, um, was to help to build up the players, help to build up the young core. We had a 2 month negotiation of this guy. He had agreed to a lot of the set mandates that had been happening behind the scenes. The players that he was getting, he would have known. And he signed on the dotted line, and we were expecting that to happen. Now, of course, losing Nkuku was a big blow, of course, in the last final day of his preseason, but that shouldn't be reticent on him to fail, to have a major failure, and I repeat, a major failure in tactics, such that his tactics have to change because of one player gone. He decided to play Chilwell left wing. Now, I think with hindsight, I can understand Chilwell left wing now, if with the stuff we're seeing right now, where he's playing left back, where I don't think he maybe doesn't trust him as at left back, and he's played decided to say, let's see if you can use the left wing with his attacking ability, and we've seen that that did not work out either. So having Chilwell, who is a piece that you can't use, of course, it's not gonna help him out anytime soon. But he's been playing Levi Cole out of position for a long time. We looked literally tactically inept. I don't see a style of play. I don't see any orders being given to the players that's helping them out at all. The team's level has dropped to a completely low. Now, I want to get to the player part, but from at least specifically on a Poch point, he's not doing his job. With the current crop of players that we have, people can say whatever they want about them. I've been seeing a lot of nonsense on Twitter about what's it called? these players are shit or these players are this or that. They're not. They're being overhyped. The reality is, bro, these players you've brought are good players. They are good quality players, and they should not be playing at this level. They should not be playing at this level, whether we want to admit or not. And we can see with our eyes what's going on, what's going wrong right now. And that's for the vast majority of these players right now. The way they're playing, the style of football they're playing, and at least from that aspect, Pochettino is failing, and that's why he should really well and truly be sacked as a manager. So that's at least from the Pochettino side. All right. So speaking about that quickly. Now I want to get on to the players. I've been seeing all over Twitter, in general, or like just so I can gauge at least the fan reaction in regards to the players. Because, I think, at Chelsea, we love to criticize the players. And this is something, yeah, where, listen, I got it with the previous crop of players we had. There were a lot of players in that crop of players who were absolutely dog shit. They don't want to play for us. And what is not good enough for us at the end of the day, if we're well and truly being honest. But with this new era at the football club, with some of the new players we've brought in, I have felt at times with the situation that's been going on, the players that we have, it's been vastly unfair on them the way they've been criticized. Now, in game, we can criticize a lot of players. Caicedo has been pulling up his weight. We can say Enzo's been gone missing, not been pulling up his weight. We can say the same about guys like Sterling, Gallagher, not really in regards to Palmer because his calm has been getting his DNA, but there are times where he's not been able to be clinical enough, not been able to score enough. But again, in regards to him specifically, Jackson, yes, he's been good up with his link-up play, but he's not been scoring enough. We can say that about him. He's been missing chances. Defensively, Benoit Badiashile looks like a shell of himself, looking like absolutely terrible, getting bullied all the time. Levi Cole looks absolute dog shit, getting cooked every time we see him play. We can say the same about Disasi. We brought him in. He looks like a truck. Doesn't look like always getting bullied and scored on against Sanchez, third-rate goalkeeper Petrovic. The list can go on and on about how these guys play. But you listen, as a professional, we should be criticizing them for not being playing as good as they should be. However, I always come back to what is the platform they're playing? How are they being played? What is their instructions? Are they producing them to a good level? When Caicedo, is playing poor for sure, he's not playing good enough. But at the same time, him playing and as a lone DM where teams are literally swarming him because they know Gallagher and Enzo are not sort of beside him, it's not fair on me to just completely blame only the player. You know what I'm saying to you in that one. You then got someone like Enzino, as I like to call him, Enzo. Enzo clearly has not been playing to his best ability. He's not been playing well, but not been doing the playmaker stuff. But at the same time, can I blame Enzo when I feel like he's not been used in the same place where I'm seeing him at times play shadow striker? That's not what Enzo should be playing. Enzo should be playing in that pivot, holding that position alongside Caicedo in that double six and being a deep line playmaker. We literally saw this yesterday with Jorginho. Just played as the deep line playmaker, played the back, who was making the passes. That's what Enzo should be doing for us right now. But we are not tactically set up or inept enough to be able to do that sort of thing. So, that's where I think the criticism needs to be start and stop. And, I think the thing for me in particular is that a lot of the time I hear, we see and we hear the idea of the kids are the ones that are failing the club. The reality is a lot of the older players in this squad, the older statements, the men that need to be leading this team and helping this team out in terms of leadership are the ones that are failing the team. Let's be real, boys. Sterling has not been carrying his weight for the team. Thiago Silva's been declining massively, not been helping, not been starting multiple games, game after game and in a season where he should have well and truly been phased out. And he's letting this team down. Benjamin Chilwell, yes, you can say he's come back from injury, even but before pre-injury, this guy's not been helping out the team defensively, leaving holes, leaving gaps. Doesn't come back on defense when he loses the ball offensively. Like, we need to be honest about that. But no one wants to have that honest conversation in regards to him. Disasi is 25 years old. He should know better. He should be better. And he's not been playing to his level previously. And that should be well and truly criticized for him too. Now, I've spoken about Poch and the players. That's just one aspect of the whole situation. You then go to the directors. Now, there's been reports today that have been coming out that apparently the directors have all different, three different things, and that is obviously in terms of recruitment, in terms of Stuart, with Stanley, and also Joshua is the head recruitment guy. They're all for apparently all been given different voices, and for some, I think that could definitely be coming towards in terms of the recruitment of some of the players who've been going and how they don't you all fit a certain style of play. That for sure is something that we can look at and discuss. But at the end of the day, these guys do need to go. They have led this recruitment drive. They are the ones that have led they are the ones that have led Pochettino to be the number one choice to the ownership and said that this is our man. This is the guy that they need to die by. If he's not gonna work, then they need to be looked at and sacked. It's really as simple as that for me personally. That's what it comes down to for them. They're the ones that chose recruitment drive. Those are the ones that want to do whatever they've done. They have failed, and therefore they should be sacked alongside their manager as well. It's really as simple as that for me personally. The next group is the ownership group. Now, they are the final group for me. Now, clearly, Chelsea have had a complete change of ideas and plans, and I think for me, we can criticize the ownership in regards to what I would like to call, the buying of young players only. It's a directive that you can say it's a directive, but I don't believe it is. I believe this is clearly a directive from the ownership that they want more young players to be coming to the squad and to more and to build up that sort of Red Bull model that they've been planning for, which I don't necessarily as someone here that's coming to you and discussing this right now don't disagree with, but we need to have that balance of both old and new. And currently in the squad, we do have an over excess of young players, and we do need some players that are a bit more older that can at least do it for us on the day. And we do not have that currently in the squad. Now, we can say all of this, I can criticize all of this, and it's a three-tier problem. Now, the current core players for me are not a problem in the majority of them. Maybe there are three or four that you can say that are problems, but honestly, for me, that should not be a non sequitur, should not be an issue. For me, the board right now is failing, in their appeal of keeping Pochettino right now. What's the point of keeping him right now? There's no point of keeping him right now. You're only continuously just hurting the beam. You're just doing this for ego. Literally, it's an ego issue. And for me, sadly, whether you want to admit or not, you need to stop. You need to stop. Setting aside your ego for the greater good. I don't care, man. You know what I mean? If you want the success, let the ego go, man. Be the bigger man. The success is gonna give you the ego afterwards. But also, why are we having ego for keeping Pochettino, the manager? Disgraceful, honestly, for me. I'm hearing news today. We're keeping him. We're gonna get to the news later on, but I run on this soliloquy or this little argument to really show you where the 3-point issue is.
Chat, are we getting lag right now? Oh, okay then.
My apologies, guys. I literally had my Chrome literally just decided to die on me. Apologies on that one, guys. But I just wanted to say quickly, just to finish off my point before I let Oliver go ahead and give his and have his thoughts and opinions. The reality at the end of the day is this. I've spoken about all three of these positions and where they're all going wrong, but the box stops should be stopping now, and we should be looking at fixing stuff. And the earlier we do that, the better. It's really as simple as that. Um, and we'll get on to some of the new breaking news, and we'll have a discussion on that in a bit, of course. Now, I think I've seen someone obviously mention. I think it's NS Sport clearly aren't going anywhere, so tweeting clearly out utterly pointless. This is something I actually do agree with, which is that we need to be honest, which is that these guys aren't going. I'm hearing the ownership is that we need to understand what can we as fans control. This is something that I think we need to realize. They can't go until we got sold in 2022, so 2032 is the earliest these guys can go, whether you want to admit or not. They've got a 10-year lock on the club. Now, what can we as Chelsea Football Club control? What can we control? we can control the the manager appointments. We can control that to a certain extent, and because of our thoughts and I think he's being heard, whether it be at Stamford Bridge, whether it be online and in the the mainstream media. And the second thing is obviously this maybe the directorship in to a lesser extent in the fact that we can again using the mainstream media, using using our voices in the Stamford Bridge to get these guys out. Those are the two things we can control. But what we cannot control, and we all know this, we can't control the ownership group right now, lads. And that's just something we need to 100% be honest about. And the final point before I let everyone go, and I've been talking for all over 16 minutes. I want to talk about one more thing, and that is that under Roman Abramovich, we had a fairy tale owner in the sense of someone that I wanted to win and that was willing to spend the money and didn't care about it. As you've seen. And this is I'm talking about Roman Abramovich, the Chelsea owner. Now, the reality of the situation is, and I always say this, the reality of the situation is though, football for other clubs is not the same. It's very rare that happens. At the end of the day, for a lot of these clubs, football is also a business where they're making money to win at the end of the day. And we as Chelsea are transitioning into that, whether we like to admit it or not. That is the reality we're in. Guys that are looking to make their money back, and to do that, they need to win trophies at Chelsea Football Club. You can't just decline the club in they're selling jersey everything like that. It's not going to help these guys out in the future. So we need to also speak on that one as well. But listen, man, that's just my soliloquy done everything. How are you doing, Oliver, bro? Hope you're doing well.
I'm not. I mean, it's been a bad day not to see any club statement, but apart from that, I guess it's been okay.
Yeah, it's good to hear, man. Listen, man. At the end of the day, man, I think for me, man, they were never gonna sack him. The reality is, man, they're not gonna sack him. It's not even like
I think there's been too many instances, throughout the season, particularly since after the Manchester United game. There's been too many instances where they could have pulled the trigger, and they haven't. They've nailed their colours to the mast. This is what we're getting. So, what more can you say, really?
Listen, man, I don't know, man. The only thing you can say is good luck to Aston Villa on Wednesday, because we are getting killed on Wednesday, mate. You know what I'm saying? Oh, my Lord. It's tough, man, because I don't know about you, man. It's just you can see the issues like glaring you in the eye, and yet you're not. What is going on?
You're back. Ahmed? Yeah. Oh dear. We're having some technical difficulties here, people. Just bear with us for the moment. Yeah. I guess this is just like how our season's going in a nutshell, pretty much. This moment right here. Just bear with us. Bear with us, just like this ownership will bear with the manager. But
it is going very bad right now.
Oh, there we go.
It's going quite bad. I don't know what's going on, man. Like my Chrome just keeps on crashing for some reason. My apologies, man. You know what I mean? It's my apologies, boys. But listen, man, I was just saying, man, it's not looking good, bro, innit? That's what it's just looking at right now. And I wanted to actually go through some of the some of the comments that have been obviously released right now. So I mean, I saw some of that nonsense today, which was like, there we go. Let me present it, and then I'll let you take over on this one. Like, this one by the Mail, yeah. On Chelsea fee, sacking Pochettino would have put them in breach of financial rules, as it would take them more than 10 million to dismiss him and his staff. I was like, what are you talking about, man? Are we really saying 10 million is the difference between FFP?
Ahmed, that's one Kepa Arrizabalaga. Like, what are we doing here? What are we doing here?
That's what I'm saying. This is listen. That cannot be real, bro. I was reading that and I was like, That cannot be real, surely. I mean, the maths is not even mathing on that one, bro. It's like, and like when you hear stuff like Chelsea had hoped their business would secure UCL this season, you have to wonder, man. It feels that these directors are clueless. Honestly, like the squad that we have currently, I don't think is UCL bound, but it is definitely Europa League bound. It's definitely Europa League bound, and I don't know why people can.
It's definitely clueless, and I think you said it earlier. Ego. I think it feels like, and I'm not trying to be a conspiracy theorist here, but like there is it reeks of ego. A lot of this, we saw it with Todd Bowley and Egbali last season with Graham Potter. How long they took for that one,
Exactly.
and even you can look now to Winstanley and Stewart, who they're involved in this decision making process because if you remember, Paul Winstanley pulled the plug on Graham Potter pretty much, so he is involved. At least one of them is involved. But the way they came out after the transfer window in summer and did that interview, looking back on that, that's just tooting your own horn at the end of the day. And I think that transfer window was good, but look at this manager, and do you not have any self pride in your own work to, look at this and be like, I didn't do all that scouting, I didn't work all that hard just for Enzo to be a second striker. I don't know, man.
You have to be wondering though, like the conversations have to have been had, like with Pochettino, that there was Stanley to them, and being like, why are you playing him in this position? What has this conversation not happened?
The worst thing is, Ahmed, Enzo knows that it's wrong too. Do you remember? I think it was the Spurs game or one of the games around that period when he said to Pochettino, change the system. Do you not remember that report?
I know, bro, and I saw I saw I think it was the FCM pod where I think Coach Khan was like, nothing's going to change because of the players, and I think again this is the problem that I think yeah, I said this before. Chelsea, previous Chelsea, I think, yeah, strong arguments were no doubt should have been made about those players because those players were shit and did not want to play for us. But we have a whole new squad now with players that do want to play for us that are very talented. Like we can't just keep on saying it's the place, it's the place, it's the place. Like we at some point, bro, we can't just we need to stop. Like we have to say they're not playing well. That's for sure. But you can't just see week in, week out the players.
When it comes to the old players, I want to quote our greatest ever manager, Mourinho. See where they play, how they play, if they play. Just follow that one through and look at where they are.
Exactly. Honestly,
none of them are cooking except Pulisic and Loftus-Cheek, and they had to leave the Premier League to do that. Look at everyone that stayed in the Premier League; they're all dead. Kovacic is a bench player. Mount can't even stay fit. Havertz ineffective, and whoever else. Hudson-Odoi scores once every 7 months.
Obviously, Matt Law here saying Chelsea did not plan to set Pochettino yet, and he's under increased pressure to improve results between now and the end of the season. So it just seems that they just plan to keep him until the end of the season. According to Matt Law, Law says one source said it's a couple of bad results after a positive month. There's understanding at the top of Chelsea that Pochettino has been hampered by a huge injury list to key players that progress did seem to be made before 2 bad results. Chelsea fans singing Roman Abramovich and Jose Mourinho did not go unnoticed by senior figures. However, there was no sense of panic on Monday, according to Matt Law. I don't care about that nonsense. Strasbourg, I really respectfully, Strasbourg, not right now, man. You're not moving me. Where is the one that I wanted to read? Okay, so there was this. So this is from Sam Mcball, by the way. So Sam Mcball, this is he's pretty reliable, I would say. He knows his stuff, and some of the stuff that he's reported on is as follows: Mauricio Pochettino is safe but under pressure. Prefers to see out the season, but plans could be brought forward if season continues to deteriorate. And he's also said in the article, squad morale is said to be low at Cobham. Insiders close to the team describe an atmosphere of players leaving as soon as they can after training is finished, with squad members rarely staying behind to do extra work. And the final one, certain Chelsea players are said to have shown difficulty in accepting critical feedback. What are your thoughts on that, by the way, Oliver? I'll let you start on this one.
That was Sam Mockbell, right?
Yeah, Sam. Well,
I don't know what to say about it. I mean, I'd probably want someone a bit more reliable than him. Like, I get he's got a decent track record, but I'd want to see it from a few more people. Like, I know Alex Goldberg was echoing the same things, but I'm not going to believe that guy when, with what he was doing in the summer, the way he was moving about, with certain players in this ownership. So, like, let me just think. So what? The players can't take criticism. I mean, you kind of made a rod for your own back there if you're going this young. So that's on you if that's the case. Ownership. Players not staying behind for extra training. I mean, I don't care about. They shouldn't need extra training. We have the week off every single week except when there's cup games. So the extra training should be the actual sessions themselves. They don't need to work any harder than they are, especially when you're working for Pochettino, who seems to overload these players when they come back from injuries and whatnot. And look at how many setbacks we had from injuries. Like, I'm not surprised some of them aren't doing anymore. And like I said as well, they should be having extra scheduled training time anyway. So that doesn't really make a difference to me. I don't know about you, but
I think for me, if these guys were actually just doing a regular training session and not like from what we know, like Pochettino training style, having an extreme session would actually be quite good in the sense of, like, at least you can see they're trying to still improve themselves. Obviously, they're not playing week to week and like bi-weekly, so it kind of makes sense, obviously, for them to be able to do that. But I think the squad morale thing is very interesting, bro, because I've said this for a while now, that a lot of these players don't seem to be playing for him, and that a lot of these players don't seem like they're particularly happy or or they have a high morale, if that makes sense.
I mean, just look at our disciplinary record. Like, that's just one example. These guys have not taken a single word that Pochettino said, and I'm not saying that they're right to. They're absolutely, they should be doing better. They should be keeping their head better, but they don't respect him. That's just that's the long and short of it. I don't see a level of respect there personally.
Yeah, I just think, for me, man, I don't know how you can. The situation is just like too. What's it called? It feels just very toxic, innit? If that makes sense.
Look at the way he moves in the press as well. Like, he never takes any full responsibility on himself. I know he said after the Wolves game, everyone's not good enough, including me. That's the equivalent of a player stan when they get told that their player's dead. Oh no, but everyone else was bad. It's a deflection. It's a diffusion of responsibilities at the end of the day. A lot of these players are good enough. A lot of them have played good enough in moments, but it's the setup that messes everything up. Like, I don't know how some people can't see this. I don't understand. Like, you need to just go and broaden your horizons, because I'm sure that the people that think everything's okay with our setup, they don't watch any football outside of our own. Because how can you not watch an Arsenal or a Liverpool and tell me that this team is set up correctly?
I saw today, was it called? Yeah. From Sam also said that apparently the club the club didn't sign any player in January, but Poch wanted a left back and a striker. But I'm like, if we know that we need a striker, left back, but it was not going to be realistic to get in January, and he should have known that too.
Brother, we need to talk about this left back thing.
Go.
We need to talk about this left back thing. So, like you say, he let Maatsen go. So if I'm the board or whoever made the decision to not give him that left back, I'm sticking by that. And as a fan, I totally agree with it. How can you be sure you need a new option when you haven't even given all of your options a chance? Maatsen played a few games at left back, mostly off the bench. it's not substantial evidence to say that he's good enough or bad enough. We just don't know. But now he's gone to Dortmund and he's doing pretty well for himself over there. So, are you telling me that you weren't seeing any of that in training? And the other thing about the left back is we're seeing reports. I think was it Nizar this morning? Is that we can maybe go to a back three? How are you letting in Maatsen go? If your whole thing with him is, he's going to lose so many duels because he's like 5'3", why are you letting him go? And now you're considering going to a wing back formation or any variation of the back three, back five. I don't understand it. The defensive security should not be a concern for a wing back. And he played there last season at times with Burnley. He did well. You're content to bring back Cesare Casadei for his performances in the Championship, but when it's Ian Maatsen, the Championship is too low a level. So have some consistency there. And also, where is your game plan to? I might want to use this back three. Maybe I should keep one of because we only have two attacking fullbacks. Cucurella is not an attacking fullback. It's Chilwell and Maatsen. And now Maatsen's gone. It's just Chilwell, and Chilwell's going to do his hamstring in the next 2 games.
Yep, and like we've seen with Chilwell,
and he's terrible. Chilwell's terrible anyway.
I just think for me, man, we know what he's like, and this guy, we know what he's like going forward. He'll go there and he'll stay there forever. But what if he loses the ball going forward? He's never coming back, bro. That guy's never coming back. So I don't understand. Why?
You know what, Ahmed? I've got to deduct points from Chilwell going forward as well. I know in the final third he's effective, but in build-up play he stinks.
He does build.
That is a part of going forward. It's the build-up play. He stinks.
That is true. That is true. I just, I'm just tired, man. It's tiring talking about Chelsea, bro. And there's constant negativity. There's constant It's constant. In issues going on. I just don't understand why that is, man. I'm just tired, bro. I don't know about you.
No, totally. I mean, it's been 18 months of it, hasn't it?
It's been 18 months. We just continue.
It's been 18 months of PR, of bad hires, no accountability, late decisions. When does it end? Do these owners even realise that they're making mistakes? Because the way they're moving with Poch, I don't know. Unless I have seen some reports actually the board may be split on it, but isn't the fact that there's a split enough of an indication that maybe something is awry?
That is just a disgraceful, by the way. That there's a split. There should be no split on this one, bro. He should be going.
And worse, on this split, by the way, take it with a pinch of salt if you want. This is from Felix Johnson and what he's reported from his own intel.
I think Pies' second thing also reported that as well, if I'm not mistaken.
I haven't seen the full Pies thing, but it might align. Apparently, Eghbali wants to sack him, and Bowley is the one that's relenting. No, that's not relenting. In which case, Eghbali is the head of the sporting side. So why is Todd Bowley having input on the sporting side when he's supposed to be on the finance and business side?
Yeah, exactly. For me, man, it's just I just think for me, bro, they want him to complete the season, it looks like. And if that's the case, man, let them do it, bro. Because then, listen, we will see the reality, bro. We will see the reality. I wouldn't be surprised if at the end of the season, bro, we are at the same position as we were last season, 12th.
No, wouldn't be. We're literally, I think I saw it on Twitter, we're 1 point worse off than last season. And we played, at this point of the season, playing, 23 Premier League games. We're 1 point worse off than last season. But people wanted to throw XG graphs at me and tell me that we've improved. No.
You know what's crazy? I know that, I know, bro, against Aston Villa, we're losing that game. I know we maybe 2-0, 3-0 loss, And when that happens, we're gonna just keep on saying it's only another bad game. Because then what happens on Saturday, right?
That's what we're gonna do.
We can't do that, bro, because then it's gonna be three losses in a row. Then we got Man City on Saturday, 5:30. Haaland back, KDB back. That's going to be a massive crashing that's going to be happening in that game.
This is what we're going to do, Ahmed. We're going to near enough exhaust every single opportunity to make Europe until it's virtually too late.
We did that last time under Potter.
Yes, but we haven't learned. That's the point. We have not learned our lesson. We are being, we're not being decisive enough. We're being way too hesitant on the whole situation. It might even be worse than Potter because there's more games where afterwards you say he has to go. I mean, if you're looking at Potter, I'd say with Potter, the games he had to go after were Southampton, Spurs, and Aston Villa, the one he actually did get sacked for. With Poch, there's like 5.
You've had since United to get him sacked. Honestly, United is when he should have got sacked. Bro. I'll be honest. After United, that was when you should have locked it off, man. But Fabrizio has done a video. Apparently, it's just been released. Just got some breaking news quickly for everyone. The pressure is growing on Pochettino. As of today, preference is to finish the season and behind him. However, different people think different things internally in terms of when to judge him. So we've got people behind the scenes that are not even thinking in the same school of thought. Terrible, Actually, it's terrible, by the way. That just means, these guys are clueless. They can't even think, the right way together. What's the point? What's the point then? What's the point of having these twats, if they can't think?
I mean, this is the whole fear of being in a consortium-based ownership. You have too many cooks in the kitchen. I think that's definitely something that could be the case in regards to this whole, alleged split with Egbali and Bowley over the decision. And I
50%.
Listen, I understand that's a problem, but I just want to go to the people that want to criticize it and say that, this ownership, we could have gotten someone else. At the end of the day, let's be honest. When we were getting sold, when the Rain Group were seeking out options, they were all consortiums. So this was an inevitable problem either way, but nonetheless, it has to be resolved. It's only getting in the way of the business that these owners actually need to get done to, because if they want to make their money, they've got to raise the value of this club in the next 8 years. So it's in their best interests to get us to a high level. So they're only getting in their own way by that, really.
For me, man, I just don't know what's going on, man. I have no idea what's going on. It's confusing me. And mentally, bro, it's just tiring, man. It's just tiring, bro. Like, how can you say that, bro?
You think it's tiring for us, Ahmed? You now wonder what it's like to be within that environment as a player, and this is where all the morale stuff comes from. It's this, there's no path to improvement in sight. So why are these players going to have any hope? And how drab the atmosphere is at the stadium. They can see it just as clear as you and me and everyone else in this chat. We can all see it. So why are they going to get off? Why are they going to stop sitting on their hands and actually get up and make a noise? There's nothing to look forward to.
You do realize, and this is something that me and you have said previously, the Carabao Cup, by the way, is probably our best opportunity to get Europe, by the way.
For sure, yeah.
It's probably going to... You're right, and we're not even thinking about that. They're not even thinking about the cup as an opportunity to get into Europe, by the way.
I guess they're not by persisting like this.
So they just see it as a cup. They're not even thinking about it in the sense of, if we can't get it in Europe via the league, we can at least get Europe via the cup. Literally, no one's thinking like that. Are we that dumb? I can't believe we're that dumb, bro. Like, surely we're not this stupid, man.
But this is the problem, Ahmed. They've changed their targets throughout the season. They've had flexible targets, and that is a red flag. You cannot. I'm sorry, but let's look at this. The remit at the beginning of the season was UCL. We saw it from the reports that was being put out. Whether that be them, whether that be the club directly briefing the media, whether that be internal sources and whatnot. Even Pochettino's press conferences. We wanted Champions League football, and they've been flexible. They've been laxed about it. They have lowered the targets based on these injuries. They've given the injuries far too much credence. Oh no! Now we just want Europe, and now there's a Jordan. Now there's a Jordan sponsorship on the table here that we're going to lose because of their incompetence.
Exactly. And you know what makes it worse, by the way, is that 1 second. Where is it? There we go. Like Fabrizio just said, there's different opinions of Pochettino internally. Why are we having different opinions? We, as a football club, bro, there should be one guy when it comes to sporting matters that should be making the decision. Simple as that. Why have we got different opinions on everything? It should not matter. You gave this guy power. You gave this what's it called? Sport directors power. Let them do their job. Honestly, man, it's just tiring, broski. It's just tiring. And you know what, man? What's making it even worse here is that the results on the table aren't helping us. Nothing's helping us right now, and we're just fucked. And we talk a lot, on the stream about how can we fix Chelsea? How can we do that? We can't fix Chelsea if the guys up above are as competent as we're reading right now. My God. But hey, listen, man, I'm gonna wrap it up here, man, because I can't deal with Chelsea like this, man. It's not good for me mentally, bruv. You know what I'm saying to you? I'm happy outside of life, except of Chelsea. Well, maybe not so much, WWE, actually, you know what I mean? What they did to my guy Cody Rhodes, but listen, you know what I mean? We better make sure we get justice. Listen, we want Cody, get that trending still. Nah, but honestly, man, it's just, I don't know, bro. I don't know what to think, man, because tomorrow he's gonna have his press conference. People are gonna be pissed off about his press conference, and he's gonna play on Wednesday against Aston Villa. They're gonna probably smash us 3 or 4-0. We then go into Man City. They're gonna do a nice little 2-0, but it'll be like a 2-0 violation against us, knowing them, and then no one will say. And then you go into the next week. Who are we facing after this? Crystal Palace, isn't it?
Crystal Palace, yeah, with 3 key players out, so that's going to be a draw.
And the thing is, Joel, bro, I'll be honest with you. We're not dropping to mid-table. It's worse, by the way. It's worse than mid-table. I think the standards are going beyond mid-table, by the way, because if they think like this leads to relegation, by the way. There's incompetency, not agreeing or disagreeing on certain stuff. Yeah, that leads to what's it called? What's the word? Relegation.
I think
that leads to.
In terms of a long-term situation, I agree. We're not getting relegated this season. Like I was a lot more scared last season. The difference is now.
This season. Yeah.
The difference is now we have a difference maker in the team. We didn't have that last year. This season we have Cole Palmer. It's literally him or nothing. But he has enough good games in him that we can sometimes ride it out. So I wouldn't be worried for now, but long term, because that's what they always want to peddle out in their media reports. Long term, it is a worry. You can't overlook these things.
Yeah, man. But listen, guys, I think we're gonna wrap it up here. As always, I've been your host, Mr. Bridge 258. This has been my fellow co-host, Oliver. Big up to my guy, as always, man. It's always a pleasure to have him on. But honestly, boys, it's not looking good, bruv. It's not looking good, bruv, at all. But hey, Chelsea FC, do something, man. Be serious, people. After Wednesday. Love. Bloody hell. Chelsea, man. Don't kill me.